Guys, believe me, some RPGs here will absolutely blow your mind. So if you like RPG games, since the simple RPG games, open world RPG, get ready, because this video is insane. Hope you enjoy the video, click on a like and subscribe for more content. So let's go to the first game of the list.
Sorry, you want to know the year?
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
She was looking for someone.
Lies of P Overture is a DLC to the original game. Actually, it's going to be almost a new game. What means it'll be huge. The game is being developed by the studio NeoWiz and will be released on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Microsoft Windows. It'll be released in some moment of 2025, but the date is not confirmed yet. If you played the original game, you know what it's about, but if you didn't, it's a Souls-like game set in the universe of Pinocchio with a lot of charisma and style. The game is fluid and is a nice challenge if you like hard games.
Legendary.
Do whatever it takes. Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Into a remarkable young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Take the easy, even art of gold. Leave the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten.
The Witcher 4 is the sequel of the acclaimed The Witcher 3, but now, different of the previous games, the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, one of the most important characters of the third game. It's being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, the same studio of Cyberpunk and The Witcher, and is probably coming out in 2027, with luck 2026, to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The new game will be totally made in Unreal Engine 5. That's one of the best engines of the moment, with impressive graphics and insane possibilities. So if you like huge and massive RPG games, this is surely one of these.
You can't change anything!
The Elden Scrolls VI is finally the new adventure after Skyrim. But wait, this is still a long time to be released. It was announced with Starfield. So this is the game Bethesda is focused now. But when it's coming out, we don't know. But will probably be launched on Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The series is acclaimed for being an insane and massive RPG series with a lot of content and possibilities. So this is one of the most anticipated games ever.
人活进了戏里，还是戏本就因人而在。
Project the Perceiver is an insane upcoming action RPG game, and like most of the RPGs nowadays, we see some inspirations in Souls-like games, since the combat to the boss fights. The game is being developed by the studio Paper Games, a Chinese studio, and is coming out in 2025 or 2026 to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game will be set in a beautiful and immense open world with a lot of quests, enemies, and general content. The visual of this game is something mind-blowing with an impressive combat style and movements. So like most of China's game lately, you should keep an eye out for it.
且让你们体会。如何相提并论？一将功成万骨枯，总有。
Can you feel it? Something has disturbed my dreams. He has returned. The great beast. And soon all will know that the war against the dragons begins.
Dragonkin the Banished is an interesting action RPG. The game is set in the same style of Diablo, Path of Exile, and more games in this style, but here the player will explore and unravel a world of dragons. A game with nice graphics, a combat that looks fun for those that likes this style, and an infinite gameplay system for those who likes to play for hours and hours evolving and improving the character. The game is confirmed to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. And for PC, it's coming out on March 6th, 2025, but just the early access for now. The final version will be available on the consoles too.
Get ready to unleash your power and kill the Dragon Lords to reclaim the world and put an end to the draconic corruption. Play the Dragonkin demo now and add...
Because I was going to make a sandwich. Let's do it. What do I think about Hero? Their disproportionately high cheekbones and comically massive weapons.
Wanker.
Roughing up bandits, because they like to rough up bandits, don't they? So the true hero's me, someone who's breaking new ground with fruit, with veg, on the agricultural side of things.
Just look at them.
Not wafting around.
Fable is the returning of a great Xbox RPG series. The game is being developed by the studio Playground Games, the same studio of Forza Horizon. So it's a different style of game of what they usually do, but it looks fun. Let's just hope it is. The game was coming out in 2025, but was postponed to 2026. It's coming out to Xbox Series XS and Windows, but I wouldn't say that a PlayStation 5 version is impossible. But it'll be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. For the fans of the series, this one will be set in the same style, a kind of open world game, with a lot of choices and possibilities of gameplay and story.
That's what defines you, doesn't it? Really stays with you. I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go.
Welcome to the most exclusive club.
It's to her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove.
Legacy can take many forms, right? Learn from the ones who came before. Wait, I hear something.
Is that a Kestrel?
I still can't believe they exist.
To what do we owe?
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is one of the most beautiful, in a matter of realistic graphic style, turn-based RPGs I've ever seen. The game is being developed by the studio Sandfall Interactive, and this one got a confirmed release date already. That's April 24th, 2025, and it's coming out of PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. The game features a beautiful and realistic graphic style, with impressive visuals and style. The combat isn't a turn-based system, but with action mechanics too, like pressing in right time to defend or attack stronger. It seems that the world will be huge, with a lot of possibilities and things to explore too. What sounds fun?
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Look!
Incredible! I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before.
One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Monster Hunter Wilds is the next huge adventure of this insane action RPG series. The game is being developed by Capcom and is going to be released in February 28th, 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. This is one of the biggest series from Capcom, and the hype about this game is huge, and the time to finally play it is getting closer. If you've never played, it's an action RPG game with a lot of possibilities and features, but the main one is to hunt huge monsters, as the name says, and is really fun to play with friends in the co-op mode. You gotta try it.
You can't do this alone!
We need to shake them off! Follow me! Yeah! Here it comes! I will draw its iron! Cover me!
You got it. Be careful.
Be ready!
Must be here somewhere. This way!
Lunka! Don't hurt her!
You gave us quite the chase.
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is a new open RPG from the same director of the beloved The Witcher 3. The game is being developed by the studio Rebel Wolves and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Microsoft Windows. We still don't know the release date, but I'd say 2026 or 2027. And the interesting thing about the game is that just like The Witcher, the game will be set in a world that reacts to your decisions. All you choose will change something in the story, and the world will be dark and immersive, filled with creatures such as vampires. ArcheAge Chronicles is a new MMORPG that looks mind-blowing. Here, we'll explore Auroria, a vast and vibrant world brimming with rich lore and thrilling action. The game delivers an immersive experience that will capture players' hearts, whether they are newcomers to the setting or seasoned adventurers. The game got an insane visual style with a great combat system. Some people are even considering it a Souls-like game. So imagine fighting insane bosses and enemies with your friends, getting better items and equipment, building your characters the way you want, and much more. So it looks really promising. Chernobylite 2 Exclusion Zone is a post-apocalyptic action RPG game, mixing free exploration of huge and extremely realistic open world with a hardcore combat style, insane crafting system, team and base management with non-linear storytelling. The game is announced to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. The release date of the final version is not confirmed yet, but the early access version of the game is coming out on March 6, 2025, but only on PC. Consoles version are confirmed, but with no release date yet.
Off your arse!
Do the same for that one. Hey! Hey, you! Get out of here!
Calm down. I'm going.
Good choice.
You have a good day, too.
Gothic Remake. The legend is back. Return to the Valley of the Mines in this faithful remake of the genre-defining classic RPG. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions in a gritty, unrestricted experience like no other. The game, the remake of a classic RPG game. It's being developed by the studio Alchemia Interactive, and it's coming out probably in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The original game was released over 20 years ago, in 2001, and it's a very good and fun RPG game. So if you like big and massive RPG games, that's a good one.
There's the life. But you had your share, mate. Get lost. Get lost. Nobody Time to put that booty to good use. Come on, fry him! Yeah!
Really thought you could get away with this, eh? Wait.
Chrono Odyssey is a new, insane, huge MMORPG. It's a game developed in Unreal Engine 5, a game with impressive graphics and visuals. The game is being developed by the studio Chrono Studio and got no release date yet, but is probably coming out in 2025 or 2026 to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and Windows. A vast and intricately designed, seamless open world, dynamic action-based combat mechanics based on time manipulation and extensive customization. These are some of the features of this insane game. So for the fans of online RPG games with a massive world to explore, this is a game for you. The first Berserker Khazan is an action RPG set in the Souls-like style. The game is being developed by the studio Neepal and is coming out in March 27, 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The game will be fast and fluid, set in a dangerous magical world. And as any other Souls-like game, it's going to be hard, really challenging, with a lot of different enemies and bosses. The graphic style is very stylish in my opinion, a good mix of realism and cartoon, giving the game a charismatic visual style, and if you're a fan of this kind of game, it looks really good. Elden Ring Nightrein is a new game set in a version of the world of Elden Ring. The game is being developed by From Software and is coming out on May 30th, 2025 to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Series S, and Windows. The game will be set in a roguelike style. You choose a class in the start and must survive in the map as you advance and fight enemies and bosses, getting better items and weapons. If you die, you restart all, and as you proceed, the map will start closing, similar to a battle royale game, and the focus here will be co-op. So if you like this style, this one looks good.
Thrown together by forces beyond their control.
The continent of Pywell. A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace, begins the saga of the Greymeans.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. We seek to correct this.
I have my own mission.
Crimson Desert is an insane, upcoming open-world RPG. The game is being developed by the studio Pearl Abyss, and it's coming out still in 2025, but with no specific date yet. But it's coming out to Xbox Series X and Series S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is one of those games that are even hard to believe that they're really good as they look. The graphics are insane. The world seems huge and massive, and is a game with a lot of features like glide, parkour, a nice combat style, dragon ride, and much more. And if it's as good as it looks, it'll be one of the best games of this year.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted Providence.
For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for... This is our mission.
People come north to disappear. But you... And now,
Ghost of Yotei is the next game of the studio Sucker Punch Productions, the studio responsible for Ghost of Tsushima. And the new game is going to be the sequel, set over 300 years after the first game, and obviously, all the characters will be different, so I'm curious to see the game. It's coming out in some moment of 2025, with no release date yet, but this year, and will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but in some moment will be released on Windows too, I'm sure. The first game was an extremely fun action-adventure game, with some RPG mechanics, and this one will be set in the same style.
Still think you're the hunter?
Ever known in my life. I will end. My family burns in the name of unification.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is the next adventure in the world of Assassin's Creed. The game, as always, is being developed by Ubisoft and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and Microsoft Windows in March 20th, 2025. The game, for the first time in a big Assassin's Creed game, will be set in Japan. You'll be able to play with two different characters, Neo and Yasuke, each one of them with their own style and mechanics. This will be an RPG Assassin's Creed, like Valhalla, Odyssey, and some others, set in a huge map with a lot of things to do.
You are still a frog in a well. Greed. Power.
Stars. Fields. I have seen the miracles you so claim into the mist.
I pray for their grace, but all that came were inferior shades.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such power?
Time.
Ballad of Antara is an upcoming action RPG. The game is set in a sort of open world, with a fast and fluid combat style. Through the game, the player will be able to play with multiple characters, even changing the one you're playing in real time, but just if they are with you in the battle. The game is being developed by the studio Tipsworks Studio, and is coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game features an interesting feature, a sort of change of dimension, kind of similar to the last Lords of the Fallen, and it looks really good here. And the boss fights looks really sick. So I'm really curious about this one.
Wayward emissaries, grant us
This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Happens. We did not betray this world.
Phantom Blade Zero is an insane action RPG game. It's being developed by the Studio S game, and is coming out to PlayStation 5 and Windows. The release date is still not confirmed, but they said that it's going to be revealed in 2025, so I believe it's coming out in 2026 or later. The game will be set in a kind of linear map, similar to Dark Souls. But no, It's not a Souls-like game, but action RPG with mechanics that resembles Souls-like games. In the game, we'll play with different weapons, facing different enemies and bosses, finding new items and equipments, and honestly, I'm really hyped about this game.
I swore to protect it. My mission is fulfilled. I will not rest until all traitors are silenced and our stolen kingdom returned.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a new Chinese action RPG game set in the Souls-like style. The studio developing the game is the studio Linzi, and it's coming out in 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. And the game is also coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. The story is set in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming Dynasty, plagued with warring factions and a mysterious illness spawning monstrous creatures. The game got nice graphics and a gameplay that looks really good, especially for the fans of Souls-like games. Borderlands 4 is the next adventure of the beloved universe of Borderlands. The game is being developed by the studio Gearbox Software. This will be released on Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Windows. The game got a release date already. That is September 23rd, 2025. You probably know the series already, but if you don't, it's a looter-shooter series set in a first-person camera with a unique and charismatic graphic style, and it's always been a success since the first game of the series.
From the studio that brought you Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Part 2. And Fallout 3, Part 2. Comes a completely original Part 2. And like all good sequels,
The Outer Worlds 2 is the sequel of the first game, what's obvious. And it's being developed by the studio Obsidian Entertainment that just released Avowed, but the game is coming out still in 2025 it seems, to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The game is an open-world action RPG set in an FPS style. The first game is really fun. It's not a masterpiece, but it's fun. But they promise that now it's going to be even greater in all aspects, so I'm really curious to see how it's really going to be. But for now we need to wait, because there's no release date yet.
More action. More weapons. And more. Welcome back to the future. Try not to break it again.
I'm not interested in hiring any more idiots. I'm looking for people of tact and vision and perspicacity.
The Outer Worlds 2.
Emergency at Windscale Atom Plant. Now the worst seems to be over. Wiring target.
Atomfall is a survival FPS game set in a post-apocalyptic universe. The game is being developed by the studio Rebellion Developments, the same studio of Sniper Elite, and the game is coming out in March 27, 2025 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. The game looks really fun, especially for the ones that love single-player games about survival. The first time I saw it, I must say that it got my attention, but to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the studio, but I'll keep an open mind about this one. It looks nice in the trailer, and it's coming out day 1 on Xbox Game Pass. Pokémon Legends EA is a new adventure in the beloved universe of Pokémon. We've not seen so much about the game yet, but we know that it's going to be one of the biggest or the biggest game of the series. It's being developed by the studio Game Freak, Nintendo, and it's coming out in 2025 to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 when it's released. If you know Pokémon, you know what to expect. It's a fun JRPG with unique features, and the most fun thing is always finding and collecting all Pokémons, evolve them, and learn all the mechanics of the game.
And like all good sequels,
That's it, guys. I told you, the games here are really impressive, so I really hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to see more about the game if you really want to play them. And that's it. Subscribe and like the video for more videos. Thank you, and so long.
Weapons.